Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Sunday night in the den. Lots to talk about this week. A bit of it on YouTube, and then the rest on www.jimdavidson.uk. The best TV, son of Boris, the best streaming TV channel that you could get. Sign up and have a look. Lots on it. Now, and I have to mention Netflix and my competitors. And I've been watching a show called The Shiner. It's fantastic. I'm the third series I'm on now. There's some great stuff on there. But here's the question, right? Mobile phones. This one, Care After Combat. You've got your own ring. Everyone's got their own ring. Why is it on American television, and I've not noticed the British one because there's not much to watch on there much anymore, is there, apart from Bring Back Corbyn on the BBC. Why do they always buzz? Why does their phone never ring? You go ding 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 ding. Hi, Detective Smith. Isn't it? Is it because of the copyright? Ah, you see, it's the copyright. Anyway, this week on the Sunday, we've had enough rotten news. I watched Ma this morning and I've had a look through the Express. So today we're going to talk about jokes, and I'm going to tell you the best dirty joke on earth. But more of that in a minute. Let's first of all, the painting's back. This one there that's going to be auctioned at Care After Combat's website. The money going to help our veterans who have fallen through the cracks in the criminal justice system. And this was painted by a guy that was in prison for some misdemeanor. He's out now and he's not reoffended. Possibly, people say, oh, that's thanks to you, Care After Combat and Regroup and Project Nova, what we have done. Not really, it's what he has done. And I have to just say, happy birthday to the NHS. 72 years, it's been fantastic. And I saw Matt Hancock on Ma this morning. And Matt, well done. But I've got a tip for you. Change that bloody tie. That pink tie hanging down is a bit much. You've got to think about appearance. Although, really, it didn't matter because as soon as you went, on come that funny woman who looks like Keyhole Kate from, I think she's the shadow chancellor from the Labour Party. Listen up, you should have gone, after that lockdown, 12 o'clock the other night, you should have queued up at the barber's and get that barnet done. Oh, have you seen her with the funny barnet, funny face? How they become MP? She looks like an Amish woman. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so, happy birthday to the NHS. And before people write in and say, Jim, I know you go private, I had my gallbladder removed. I put it on eBay. And I went private for that. I did. I pay lots and lots of money, private medical insurance for me and my wife and that. And I do. Because, why? Because I'm a privileged white Tory toff? No, because I'm sensible. What else am I going to spend the money on? They're talking now, they're pressurising Spock, the Chancellor, to give a £500 voucher to everybody in the country. What will you spend that on? Will anybody spend it on private medical insurance? No, because we're entitled to it because we paid our stamp all our life. Bollocks. If you can pay and help out, don't forget, right, by me going private, I'm freeing up a bed for the brilliant NHS, aren't I? Someone less privileged than me could have the bed that I would have used in an NHS hospital. Someone could be paddling across the channel right now and need some medical help. But let's not just forget, NHS is more about doctors and hospitals. I tell you, without the NHS working alongside Care After Combat, working alongside Project Nova to form Regroup, without the NHS, that guy would probably still be in prison. Lots of the veterans would still be in prison. What we're doing now with Care After Combat, we're taking a leaf out the NHS's book. The NHS are guiding us through this minefield, if you excuse the pun, of veterans in the criminal justice system. It's all about well-being, isn't it? I mean, being a criminal, is it a mental illness? Is it something? I mean, what we want to do is to be able to give these guys a bit of well-being, physically, mentally, family, and then perhaps they won't break the law again. It's working a treat, so God bless the NHS. Talking about veterans, there's one that didn't break the law. Look at that. Yes, it's Lenny Henry. No, that is me, done by an old paratrooper friend of mine called John Careless. John, thank you very much. I look forward to your book being published, and I hope you and your family deal with the trauma you've recently had to do, which brings us back to Val, John's late wife, recent late wife, who was a nurse with the NHS, who paid the price. And of course, everybody suffers. John, God bless you and your family from everybody that's listening here. And you are a paratrooper. And I was thinking about this the other day. You're a brave fellow. It takes a lot to jump out of an aeroplane. I remember jumping out of an aeroplane a couple of times with the Red Devils on the avenue down in Aldershot. And as I was getting in the plane, a little bloke behind me, a little bastard called Sean Day. Now remember this, he's on Facebook somewhere, Sean Day, smelt my parachute and said, "That parachute smells of death." Oh, shit. Shitty death. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny how we laugh when things go wrong? I remember being in the jungle, being chased by Guatemalan terrorists. Actually, it was a pissed Gurkha. But you laugh. You laugh when you're frightened. Yeah, you do. Anyway, right, let's get on with what I'm going to talk about. Right, here's my script this week. And it says up here, let's have a little look. Cayenne Pepper, Cayenne West, a man, I don't know what he does, a black man, I think we can say that now because he's obviously, right, because of the slogans, not a man of colour anymore, a black man is going to run for president of the United States. Well, good. Is black better than orange? You know, we'll find out. And as America is the land of opportunity, good luck, Kanye, and let's help you get yourself in. There's been lots of reporting about the pubs here, so I thought I'd tell you a story, okay? A joke, okay? We won't go on about the pubs, we won't go on about... Do you know what, though? I will just come back to that. How many miles do you think these BBC crews and Daily Mail and people like that have been driving through the night, scouring the country to find people who are arguing and fighting in a pub? How many pubs have they gone past where there are normal people going about their business? They were trying to find shit, weren't they? They were trying to say, oh, it's all gone to rat shit. No, I think the British public largely have behaved brilliantly. I didn't go out at all. I sat in and watching China. But anyway, so what do they end up, Sky News reporting? Yes, Nigel Farage has gone to the pub. Unbelievable. And not only that, that fucking idiot who's the leader of the Liberal Democrats, or whatever they're called this week, has written a letter to the police complaining that he hadn't done a 14-day quarantine because he'd come back from America. You silly little snivelling small person. Get a grip. Go and have a pint with Nigel. Get out into the pubs of England and find out what the people really want. Okay, let's get on. It's JDTV. JDTV. That's a silly name, isn't it, JDTV? It actually means Jim Davidson. There we are. So, www.jimdavidson.uk. I'm going to leave you all, for the first part of this show, with a joke. Okay? Now, where do jokes come from? Do people say they're a true story? Who makes them up? No one seems to know. They just turn up, don't they? So, suddenly one moment they're not there, then they're there. Like that Nicola Sturgeon, Fan Davidosi woman. Oh, I believe there's people picketing the Scottish border, saying the English are not welcome. Okay. Yeah, we'll take that on board. Just have to stay here then, won't we, and suffer down the south or anywhere in England. Look, if England was good enough for my Glaswegian father to live, if England looked after my Glaswegian father and his family down here for 60 years, then it's good enough for me too. So I'll just stay here. Right, here's my joke. I was in Dubai. This is not part of the joke, but I've started to turn into Ronnie Corbett now, who sits there and tells these... Do you remember him waffling on? Great little bloke. I wrote a play once about Alzheimer's. I still got it. It's called A Piece of Cake, and it was really, really good. The man who discovered me and put me on New Faces, well, not discovered me, put me on New Faces, was a man called Les Cox, a producer. He was fantastic. And years passed, and he wrote to me or called me or emailed me and said, will you come to Langan's and have dinner with me so I can say goodbye to you all? And I said, where are you going then? And he said, I've got Alzheimer's, so I'll be going off to the dark side. And I went to see him. We all got pissed, and then off he went to the dark side of Alzheimer's, Les Cox, and then afterwards died. And I thought, what a fantastic thing to be able to plan your departure to the dark side of the moon. And so I wrote a play about it, and I wrote it under a different name. I wrote it under the name of our Keith Emerson, bless, used to sign into hotels. He called himself Willie Make It, so I wrote it under the thing of Willie Make It. My manager, Laurie Mansfield, is also the manager of, of Ronnie Corbett. And he sent in this script, and Ronnie Corbett loved it, thought it was fantastic, didn't know it was me, and said to Laurie, oh, it's a fantastic play, all about Alzheimer's, superb. He said, but I can't do it. He said, why? He said, I won't be able to remember it. Isn't that ironic? Dear Ronnie, he was great. And he'd tell these stories. Right, so, here's my story. And this is a joke. For you young people watching on YouTube here, it's a joke, it didn't really happen. It's no good me making out, I don't wear a white t-shirt, jacket and plimp soles and do 20 minutes in a little comedy club. This is a joke. I don't know where I heard it from, but it is a joke. But you see, what comedians do, they make out it's actually happening to them, but it never really happened. So I've taken this whole joke and wrapped it up. When I was in Dubai, I saw a comic called Matt Holland who told me, I said, why don't you young comics do jokes? And he said, because we don't like anyone to be the butt of that joke. We don't do jokes, we do our own stuff. And he went on and died the most terrible death I've ever seen. And I said to him, why don't you do jokes? I think he sort of got it. Anyway, here's the story. Ages ago, I was doing pantomime, a proper pantomime, down in Bristol with John Virgo. Him who cannot read the auto cue on Big Break. Lovely to be here, thank you, Jim, comma, stands back, looks at Jim. Yeah, that was John. Anyway, I had, I think, 20 rooms at the Swallow Hotel. I think the Swallow Hotel was named after Bill Clinton, or someone he met. Anyway, I don't know what it's called now, because I don't go down there very often. But I checked in, had all the rooms for everyone. I owned the show that was on there. I was producing it and directing it. It was doing really well. And one night when we finished, well, you take makeup off and rush off to something to eat. This night, John said, I want to go back to the hotel room and watch Manchester United, which means he really wants to go upstairs and partake of the Jamaican Ready Rubbed. So I waited for him down the bar, and I had a large vodka and orange, and suddenly the bloke pulled the shutter down, like this. I said, excuse me, the wood. I said, you've shut the bar. Yeah, no, not open, no close. I said, it's 5 to 11. Yeah, but there's nobody in the bar. I said, but I'm a resident. Excuse me, I'm a resident in this bar. I didn't like to argue too much because he had a foreign accent and was obviously protected species. So I said, look, I can drink all night if I want, the room service. I said, but I want to drink in this bar. I've got 20 rooms. I stopped short of do you know who I am. Anyway, I said, look, I'm not blaming you, mate. You know, fair enough. He was good enough to hold on to that train coming through the tunnel. Who am I to argue about him? So I said to him, okay, if I'm the, he said, you were the only person in the bar, so not worth staying open. I said, well, can you check that everyone's in bed? Because I want to go to bed in a minute. We have to do everything on fucking mass. So I was getting a bit furious. And I said, get me the manager. I knew I was fucked when he replied this. Here it went. Get me the manager. I said, I'll call her. Up she came. She got spiky red barnet, sort of tartan trousers, pair of Dr. Martin boots, a thing through her hair. I think she wasn't that fond of men, if you get my drift. I think she was, you know, a bit flat-footed, bully off, all this business. And it gets worse. She said, "G'day." Fucking Australian. Now, I love Australians, but not this person who's keeping me from my second vodka and orange. And I said, it might be a good day to you, miss. She said, don't you miss me. I thought I wouldn't miss you with a fucking sniper rifle. I said, I'm trying to get a drink. And I can't get a drink. So that's because the bar's closed. I said, well, thank you for stating the fucking obvious. She said, I don't like your language. And I said, well, if you don't like my language, why don't you go back to Australia then and speak your own language? She said, I'm going to call security. And I said, no, I'm going to call mine. And I know who's going to fucking win. I said, oh, bollocks. I was going to go upstairs and watch Tug TV anyway. John never came back. Playing extra time, probably. And so Tug TV was not like your normal porn. And I fucking love porn. I'll be honest, I'm addicted. I have to buy a left-handed mouse. I'd gone upstairs and I put on Channel 21. It comes up as breakfast. And there's a bit of stuff going on. You can't quite see it, but you imagine. So I'm lying there, right? Dressing gown on, tissues strategically placed, when it used to go more than just roll down the stem and flick it off your thumb. And on came Alan Titchmarsh gardening. I thought, what's going on? And it had gone wrong. So I phoned up and said, excuse me, the television's not working. I'll send up the night porter. That's very nice. I wanted to watch telly. So I slammed the phone down. I thought, I can't go out on Bristol on a Saturday night, yob night out. So I pulled the drawer open, see if there's anything there. And there was yellow pages. And it miraculously fell open on visiting massage. I can't do this, I'm famous. They'll grass me up to the newspapers. I was famous then and worthy of a front page or two. So I thought, I know, I'll tell them I'm someone else. I'll tell them I'm Bert the plumber. I'll tell them I'm... So I picked the phone up and I dialed the number and I said, hello, this is Mr. Virgo here in room 614 of the Marriott Swallow Hotel in Bristol. I'd like you to send me round a couple of women, please. I'd like a Russian, 6'2", steely blue eyes, tits like a photo finish in a Zeppelin race, and a little Filipino woman with small hands. And I'd like them to come in the room. I'll leave the door open. I'll be on the bed drinking whiskey, watching Star Trek and listening to Emerson, Lake and Palmer. And I want the two of them to strip off and rub themselves with baby oil and do a lesbian performance at the bottom of the bed, where I shall leap in and shag the pair of them senseless. And then as I'm lying on the bed, while a Filipino woman is giving me a blowjob, the Russian's giving her the good news up track 2 with a rampant rabbit. And the voice on the phone said, you have to dial 9 for an outside line, Mr. Davidson. It never happened. See ya on JDTV.
I don't care, do I?